In this video, we will see how we can create a simple HTTP server for accepting the requests and generating the responses from the Node.js with the help of the standard HTTP module. So let me add a file here. I'll say server.js, and here I'll say import HTTP from HTTP. Right, now this is a standard model which provides us a method called as create server. So I'll say that here let server is equals to create server, right, and this create server actually accept the request listener object here. So let me right click on this and take you to the definition of this. So here this is a generic method, right, which have the request and response type of incoming message and server response respectively. The request listener hold both the request and response objects, so it generates the response based upon the current request. One important thing that you should always keep in mind while learning the Node.js is that you should always look for the definitions of the methods which are provided by the standard modules. This will provide more understanding of the Node.js and its corresponding modules. So here I'll have the request, response, and there is a method for the create server object over there. So again, I'm going to right click and taking you to the definition of this over here. The return type from that is a server object, and this server object is basically containing the method called as listen, and it exports the endpoint on a particular port so that it can start reading the request from that. So here I'll say that now server dot listen, and I'm giving the port, let's say 8090, and here I'm having the request object. So request object gives us a method on, right? With the help of that we can start reading the data from the request as well as start writing the output. This is what that we do. Then we do have URL properties, status code, headers and all that. So I'm gonna make a use of that later. Now there is a response object altogether, and it has a method called as write, where we can write the response, we can write the header in a response as well as we can even end the response. So here I can say write head. Okay, and here I'm going to pass the status code as 200, and then I'm going to have a status message contain type. Let me put it in quotes. Contain hyphen type colon, I'll have text HTML. I'll say that response dot write. I'll have here hello world, and then I'm going to ending the response. So say response dot end. That's it. I have come up with this. Let me save it over here, and then I'm going to go back to my terminal window, and here I'll say node server.js, and this gives us an error. So what error says that to load ES module, set type as module in a package JSON. So I haven't added the package JSON in my project, and again another important thing is that I'm using this ES6 syntax. So I'll have to configure the node application to support the import export, the standards which are available to us from ES6 onwards. So here I'll say npm init-y. So I'm on the same path, right, where I do have my project here. Okay, so this is going to create a package JSON, and then I'm gonna modify the package JSON over here, and then I'll say that types, right, as module, as like the error which gives here. So I'll say that type. So I'll have type as module here. Let's save this, and then sorry here, right. So I'll say node server, and then right? Nothing is giving. So let us create a status message as this. So say control C here, and I'm gonna go here. I'll say that console.log here. I'll have server listening on port, okay, 8090. Let's save this and then let's run this. So here this message. Let's open the browser here and say http colon slash slash localhost colon 8090, enter. So here we do have that hello world, right? Then right, so we can have here the information about the responses, right? So okay, so that's the thing. So we do have the response that has been generated over here. So localhost, correct, and right, we do have the response here. So right, we are having this text HTML, right? So all these things are there, okay. With the help of which we can easily create a simple HTTP server here with the help of the standard HTTP model, right? So next video we will see how we are gonna use this for sending the data, and then we will work on a get method, post method, like that. Okay, stay with me guys. Thank you very much.